Have you ever wondered what would happen if humans did weird things as a matter of course? In this thought experiment, let's envision a world where it's the norm to walk backward, an act considered peculiar in our current reality. How would science adapt to this societal shift? Our bodies, designed for forward movement, would need to adjust to this new mode of locomotion. Biologists and physiologists might find themselves studying how the human musculoskeletal system adapts to this reverse motion. Would our muscles and joints evolve to handle the new strain? Perhaps our balance and coordination would enhance, or we might develop an entirely new sense of spatial awareness. But it's not just about the human body. Our built environment would need to change too. Urban planners and architects might need to rethink city layouts to accommodate this backward foot traffic. Streets, buildings, and public spaces could be redesigned with a focus on rear-view visibility and safety. Imagine roundabouts where cars drive counterclockwise or escalators moving in reverse. The fashion industry wouldn't be left behind either. Designers could innovate shoes crafted for heel-first walking, providing comfort and style for the backward walker. Maybe we'd see high heels with the stiletto at the front or sneakers with reverse arch support. And let's not forget sports. Traditional games would evolve with new strategies and rules for backward movement. Basketball might involve shooting hoops over the shoulder, while soccer players dribble the ball using a rear-view mirror. The Olympics would certainly be a sight to behold, with sprinters racing to the finish line in reverse. In this world turned backward, even the basic act of walking could open up a realm of fascinating possibilities. The strange becomes the standard, pushing the boundaries of our understanding and challenging our definitions of what's normal. It's a reminder that the line between the ordinary and extraordinary is often a matter of perspective. That's the science of the strange, a world where the norm is as peculiar as it is captivating. In such an absurd world, what would our economy look like? In this eccentric reality, the economy would not revolve around conventional, tangible goods and services as we know them. Instead, it could be driven by the trade of the unconventional, the strange, and the downright weird. Consider this: instead of financial advisors, people might hire professional dream interpreters to guide their decisions. You'd probably find yourself investing in imaginary stocks. A market for the intangible would emerge, where ideas are the new gold and laughter the new oil. Think of a world where the stock exchange is replaced with an idea exchange, where the most innovative and outlandish thoughts are traded. The value of an idea would suddenly gain a whole new meaning. The more absurd the idea, the higher its value. And what about currency? In this world, it might be based on something intangible, like the richness of your imagination or the quality of your humor. The funniest person in the room would be the wealthiest. Indeed, the economy of eccentricity would challenge our very notion of value. It would push us to rethink what we consider valuable and why. It would force us to question the worth of material wealth and encourage us to invest in the wealth of the mind. In an economy of eccentricity, the value of an idea might just outweigh that of $1. A scene script. How might our cultural norms shift in a world of weirdness? Dive into this thought experiment with me. Imagine a world where our daily routines are flipped upside down. Dawn, traditionally a time for early risers to start their day, becomes the time for dinner. The smell of roast and spices waft through the air as people prepare for their first meal of the day. And as the sun sets, what do we find ourselves doing? We're sitting down for breakfast, pancakes and coffee becoming a meal to wind down with rather than wake up to. In this peculiar universe, the way we consume stories also takes a detour from the conventional. Books are read from end to beginning, the last page offering the first taste of the narrative. How would this change our perception of storytelling, knowing the ending before the beginning? Would suspense and surprise give way to the appreciation of how an author crafts the journey from conclusion to inception? And consider our cinematic experiences. Movie theaters show films in reverse. The grand finale is the opening act, and the first scene serves as the closing curtain. How might this shift our understanding of character development and plot progression? Would we become more focused on the nuances of the journey rather than the destination? Now let's think about language. In this world of wonder, language itself could transform, favoring palindromes and linguistic puzzles over straightforward communication. Sentences like "Able was I ere I saw Elba" or "Madam in Eden, I'm Adam" become the norm. Conversations turn into playful games where the art of language is not just in what is said, but how it's structured. In this culture of curiosity, The unconventional becomes an everyday adventure. We don't just accept the absurd, we celebrate it. We find joy in the unexpected, the strange and the bizarre. We embrace the weird, and in doing so, we open ourselves to a world of infinite possibilities. In a culture of curiosity, the unconventional becomes an everyday adventure. What philosophical debates might arise in a reality defined by the absurd? In such a peculiar world, the role of philosophers would be paramount. They would grapple with the question of what normal really means. After all, if the absurd is the norm, does normal lose all meaning? Or does it simply shift to encapsulate the new, bizarre behaviors we've adopted? And what of weird? In a world where oddities are not just accepted but expected, would the term weird lose its significance? Would we need a new word to describe the commonplace, the mundane, the everyday, or would we simply redefine weird to mean the ordinary, flipping its meaning on its head? The field of ethics, too, might undergo a radical transformation in this reality. Instead of focusing on principles of right and wrong, ethics might emphasize the importance of unpredictability, of surprise. The moral duty to keep others on their toes, to constantly challenge and redefine societal norms, might become a cornerstone of ethical behavior. In this world, philosophers would guide us through the labyrinth of our own making, helping us to understand and navigate the shifting landscape of societal norms and values. They would help us to question, to challenge, and to embrace the peculiarities that define us. In the philosophy of peculiarity, the only predictable thing is unpredictability itself. In a world of peculiarity, how would our identities evolve? Picture this. Our fashion sense becomes a canvas for our eccentricities. Mismatched shoes or hats sprouting live plants could become the height of style. Our embrace of the odd would seep into our digital lives too. Social media, a mirror of our lives, might not boast about grand adventures or gourmet meals, but instead highlight the day's most mundane moment. The barista's peculiar way of pouring coffee, the oddly shaped cloud, or even the strangely rhythmic sound of a dripping faucet. In this realm, the mundane becomes extraordinary, the routine becomes rare. It's a world where the ordinary is celebrated, not for its simplicity, but for its uniqueness, its ability to surprise us in the most unexpected ways. In a society that celebrates the strange, our identities become a testament to our individual oddities. So, what can we learn from imagining such an absurd world? We've journeyed through a universe turned topsy-turvy, where the humdrum is replaced by the extraordinary, and the usual surrenders to the unexpected. We've seen how the science of the strange could reshape our very biology and environment, how an economy of eccentricity could redefine value, and how a culture of curiosity could transform our daily rituals. We've questioned the philosophy of peculiarity and examined how these oddities could impact our identity. And we've pondered the paradox that in a world where everyone is unconventional, the unconventional becomes the convention.